I've decided today to talk about the black tax. Yes, the controversial black tax. And this is a subject that is actually the elephant in the room. Most people don't want to talk about it, but they talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a very controversial subject that some people may not like it. Some people may not want to hear about it. But equally, there are some people that have been affected by the black tax to a better or lesser extent within this country. And I just wanted to put it together, especially for the newbies that have just come through to the country, so that they actually understand how it works, so that we can have these conversations, because I know we're all different. We come from different backgrounds in parts of Africa or parts of the world where we come from. And there are some people who earn more, who have more. And this video might not necessarily be relevant for a lot of people. It might just be for those people that need to hear what I'm saying, those people that are on a sort of medium to low income earning, that are going through some emotional trauma, that are being weighed down by some of the troubles and problems that they've left in Africa or back home, and they feel obliged that I've got to do something. And with the black tax, I know it can be a bit of a bondage to some, and it can actually end up affecting how your life will turn out if not actually tackled at the earlier phase of the journey in this country. Like I said, I know many people who are drowning in debt, and they're still not even sure how to navigate around this subject. Some people are working all hours of the day, really trying to make ends meet so that they can navigate around the bills which are required in this country, and some are actually neglecting themselves so that they can be able to meet the required bills to be able to support their loved ones and families back at home or abroad. What is black tax? So before we continue, I will give you a definition which I put together based on what I found online. So black tax is a financial obligation or expectation, particularly in Black families, where we end up supporting our families as well as the extended families. Typically, it includes parents, siblings, extended families, to support them with general living costs and bills or medical bills. As you all know, that we come from economies, some in Africa and parts of the world, where a lot of our economies are very informal. And some parts of Africa, when people work, after working many years, they might not get a good pension or even no pension at all, because things are a little bit harder. So that's how it becomes a part of our lives and a part of who we are. And most of us have been raised in families where we've watched our parents look after their families, or grown up in households where extended families live. It's all been about giving and supporting, which is the positive aspect of Africa, where we give and we share. But however, when we come into the Western world, I think there's a misconception that people feel that when somebody's gone to England or America or Canada, that they are automatically going to have money. And the pressure is on for those that have just arrived. They feel that the ones that went before were able to do certain things or show pictures of how they appeared to be successful, and then they come under that pressure. So with those newbies that are coming here, the purpose of this video is to really help you, equip you, so that you can make some informed decisions around this matter. Because if you don't tackle it upon arrival, and if you don't take action now, you'll end up regretting, because you'll find yourself in situations that you won't be able to get out of. And in all essence, some of you will be enabling, rather than helping. So you've got to think about what is it that you're doing or that you're going to be doing. And what I decided to do, again, for somebody who might be living in London, I've just decided to put another scenario of what the financial situations look like for these guys that are here, before people start to expect a lot. And again, for the purpose of this video, I decided to look at a salary for somebody who's earning 2,300 gross. And that salary, after somebody's paid their NI and tax, they will end up with about £2,000 left. And then the person living in London is more expensive. So they'll be paying rent, 950 a month, insurance, as we said, about 125 a month, fuel, £100 a month, food, £200 a month, subscriptions, £50 a month. Let's just say, for the purpose of this video, they're paying black tax and other miscellaneous £300. So what they will be left with, or the total of all this, will be about 1,975, leaving them with the balance of £25. And like I said again, we have only touched upon some of the basics, and we've included black tax. So it means that for this person to be able to afford to pay maybe £200 a month towards their black tax, or even less or a little bit more, they have to work extra hours, extra shifts, and they have to work all hours of the day to be able to afford it. For this particular person that I've given you their scenario, to be able to afford to help their siblings or even pay some of their debts that they have left back home or abroad or whatever it is, it means that they have to really work hard. And I know, because I've been in this country long enough to know that in this country you grind. It's almost like you're on a conveyor belt. You wake up in the morning, you work and you work and you work day, night, and bearing in mind that some of these guys that have just come from home are working in warehouses, in cold environments that are not even conducive, and they get so tired. And some of the night shifts, people are working in cold environments, fixing machinery, and it's hard work. I mean, most of the people can tell you that when you come to this country, you are working. When you go to a job, it's not like back in Africa where people can put a jacket there and work in a slow motion. You really work, and the jobs can be very demanding physically. So what I'm saying is, when people give you whatever little, I've heard stories where somebody was given for Christmas 125 or 200 pounds by a relative, and the person said, "Is that all you could give me for Christmas?" You know, the chances are that person actually went and worked a long day, 12-hour shift, to be able to afford to give you that little gift, or that whatever you're calling little in their eyes. A long day, maybe standing, maybe in cold weather, maybe in really challenging climates, to be able to put that money together. You know, there's a saying that some people that we support in Africa actually live a better life than us, because I feel that sometimes in this country, if you're not careful, if you don't take care of your bills, you can actually end up just existing. So my advice for those that have just come into the country is, be realistic, set a good budget, know your outgoings and your incomings, be truthful with your immediate loved ones. I mean, you don't owe too many people an explanation, but if it's your parents and if those people that have sacrificed for you to be able to come here, you can really be truthful. And usually our immediate families are very understanding. It's usually the outsiders that may push the boundaries a little bit, but you know, you need to be able to give based on need, you know, and help those that are actually in need, but look after yourself first. Like I said earlier, when you get onto a plane, they say you put your oxygen mask first, because you're not good for those people in the next 5-6 years if you become ill. You know, I know many people in this country that have had chronic illnesses based on working so hard. You know, when your body has been pushed to its limit, sometimes it just ends up not being able to fight some of these diseases. And I'll give you an example: lack of sleep, not eating well, stress levels high, equals to, you know, disaster, because you'll end up being ill whilst you're trying to push yourself to give those people that otherwise, if you did explain to them your situation, they might even understand. So just be truthful to them. Yes, I know you've sent them those lovely pictures when you've posed in London, when you've sat in that restaurant, but be truthful to them and tell them, look, I had been grinding 7 days nonstop, and I just deserved to eat a good meal, or just to take myself out, just to clear my head. And that's what many will not understand. But you need to be able to sit down with them. You need to be able to put some money aside. You've seen the numbers that I worked out for you, that when you're earning 2,300 pounds, once the tax has been taken away, you're left with 2,000. And for someone in London, the rooms are ranging from 950, 925 to 1,000 just in a shared house. You don't even have the freedom to have your own apartment. You're sharing. And yet at the end of it all, you're left with only 25 pounds. And that's important to take in and start from there. So what you may need to do with all the hard work you're doing, if you're to be able to religiously help those in need that you have left behind, it means you have to work all days under the sun. And I know the level and the rate of which people work in here. If you don't look after that body of yours, I know people that have actually left this world and died at work. Some collapsed at work. So health is wealth. And be mindful of that. Look after your health. Talk to your loved ones. I'm sure those that are dear to you will be able to understand your situation and your circumstances. Budget. Put something for a rainy days. Laws in this country change each and every year. So you need to have a backup plan. I think my final words to everybody watching is that look after yourself. Take care of your health whilst you're in this country. And I'm sure your family members and your loved ones need you well and alive. They need you healthy. Remember, you're worth more alive and you're worth more healthy. They need you to be well enough. And also remember, takers will never set a limit, but givers will need to draw a line. Make sure you have some savings. Make sure you have money set aside for a rainy days. The rules in this country are changing, as you all watching. Immigration is the big talk in this country. So have a backup plan, have something on the side, and so that if your circumstances or your situations change, you have something to fall back on. Have a good night's sleep. Make sure you buy yourself good food. Look after yourself, because if you don't do all these things and you continue to work hard, our bodies are like cars. If you've got a car, you don't service it, you don't oil it, you don't look after it, it will start to wear out, and then until it just packs up. And that's like our bodies. Our bodies need to be nourished. We need to look after our physical health, spiritual health, as well as our finances, so that we can be able to holistically be able to take care of all these other things and all these other people around us. And if you're in a marriage, make sure that you're in agreement, that you're distributing your money to the significant others fairly, that you're in agreement, so that you're not fighting over this, because you all need each other. You all need to be happy and healthy. And I'm sure, like I say to you, the closest ones to you will understand. So hope this topic has been helpful to all you guys, and please let me know in the comment section, was this beneficial? Is this the type of content that you want to hear? If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, share with your loved ones, and thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, bye for now.